Hey everybody, I am Mrs. Ishins and I am glad to have you in my class. Obviously you can see I'm not in school as I'm doing this video. I'm out of town for this week and so I'm going to give you kind of an introduction here over the video. So first of all, I need to share my screen. I want to tell you a little more about myself. This is my family. We were in Florida last March for a family vacation just before pandemic struck. In this picture on the left is my son Joshua and his girlfriend Kiara from left to right. And then there's me and my grandson Caden is in the middle and my husband Rod is holding him. And Sophie is in the red dress. She is a senior this year. And Brittany is in the black dress. She is my oldest and is married to Caleb. And the two of them have a photography slash videography business in town. So the reason I'm not here is my sweet husband here, and I have a couple pictures of him. The first one with the black and white, that was taken when I was a senior in high school. We started dating when I was 15, so we've been together for a very, very long time because I'm getting pretty old now. But then the other picture is when we were in Florida. Unfortunately, about a week and a half ago when he was shoveling black dirt, he was just fine and perfect in great health. And he went to bed that night, got up in the middle of the night, and his shoulder was like swollen hugely, like he was kind of like the Incredible Hulk, just on one side. And the next day at the chiropractor, they found a tumor in his shoulder. And we went to the medical doctor the day after that, and they confirmed it and told us kind of some scary possibilities. So this week we are getting some further testing, and hopefully it'll all work out just fine and we'll get good news, and hopefully I'll be back with you soon. But in the meantime, we're just hopeful that it's all going to be good, and we're choosing to be thankful for the blessings of each day. So more about me and my education. I graduated from Bemidji State University with a degree in secondary mathematics. I also went to school my first year at the U of M in Morris, so that was an interesting opportunity too. After my husband and I were married, I taught in Warroad. I actually taught special ed for 2 years. And then we moved down to Detroit Lakes in 1995. And I subbed a little bit, and I had already had my first daughter, and I kind of wanted to stay at home. So I did some different odd jobs. Like I had a catering business, I had a daycare business, and just a few other things. I have been teaching here now for 10 years, starting my 11th year this year. So that's exciting. This has just been a dream come true for me. I love the opportunity to come here and share my passion for learning with you guys. And so hopefully you'll be more excited about learning too. Hobbies, when I'm not doing school, which I love to be at school and preparing for classes. I like to bake. I really like to bake cookies. And if it was a normal year, I'd probably bring you cookies, but I'm not sure that we can do this year. Maybe I'm hoping things will clear up and then I can bring you cookies. I like to read, and that's something that's really developed later in my life. I'm on my phone all the time reading. It's really been bad since this pandemic time. And so I'm going to have to get used to not being on my phone all the time. I like social media. I like news. I like studying Bible studies. I also have led Bible studies. I did one over Zoom during the quarantine time. I like reading math blogs, reading about other math teachers. I like reading cooking blogs. I like going on lunch dates and dinner dates with my girlfriends, and I like biking. This summer, I went on some of my longest bike rides. I have a friend that we biked a couple 20-mile trips, so that was fun. And I like running. I try to do that. Well, I shouldn't say like, it's like a love-hate thing. It makes me feel good, and I like getting out in the fresh air and having time to just relax. But I'm not like a great runner, but I do that a lot. I like flower gardening, and most of all, this picture of my little grandson here, Caden. I love spending time with him. He's a year and a half old, and I kind of took care of him a lot this summer because that's his mom and dad's busy time. So it's just awesome for me. I get to have lots of fun with him. And by the way, I have a granddaughter coming in December, so I'm super excited. I've been ordering so many fun little outfits for her already. So that'll be fun. So if you are in class right now watching this, what I want you to do is pause this video. I want you to stand up, take a little stretch break, and I want you to share with a person around you what like 2 or 3 things that you like to do in your spare time. Make sure everybody has someone to talk to. Stay in your spots. Stay 6 feet away from everybody, but just take a few minutes to talk, and then you can start the video up again. All right, come back to me. Welcome back to math. So, what do you think is the most common question that I get as a math teacher? When are we ever going to have to use this? Have you ever thought that, or have you ever said that? Well, math is important because it teaches us so much. Honestly, when I was home for all those years not being a math teacher, there wasn't very often where I sat and worked out equations. However, the thinking that I gained from being a math student, I use that all the time in problem solving. Math helps us problem solve. It helps us to be precise. It helps us to reason abstractly. It helps us make informed decisions. It helps us make logical arguments. Um, it helps us see patterns and interpret information. In this day and age that we're in, it is more important than ever to be able to look at data and critically analyze it and make logical um, arguments based on what the data is, what the truth is. Your mind is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. I like this little image here. Thinking, reading, and studying will exercise your brain and it will make you smarter. So this is why we study mathematics. But if you're somebody like me, you also just see mathematics as beautiful. Albert Einstein said pure mathematics in its way, the poetry of logical idea. I can't even read, I'm sorry. Pure mathematics is in its way, the poetry of logical ideas. So it's beautiful when you just look at math and see the proofs of why different theorems work. Cantor wrote, the mathematician does not study pure mathematics because it's useful. He studies it because he delights in it, and he delights in it because it's beautiful. I'm one of those people that I just get so excited when I work on a long math problem. I mean, like they can even take a page or a page and a half or 2 pages, and it's just difficult, and you have to really work hard on it. But you get to the end of the problem and the solution comes together and it works, and I just see that as beautiful. I think that's exciting. Also, Galileo wrote, the book of nature is written in the language of mathematics. I think there's mathematics all around us in nature, and I think that's just really cool too. So I just enjoy studying math. Okay, let's talk about these courses, Geometry and Algebra 2. I'm going to hit them together here because I'm making one video for everybody. They are both required for graduation. Geometry will have a focus on reasoning and creating logical arguments, which, like I said, it's needed more than ever in our day and age. Algebra 2, now that's going to be an extension of Algebra 1. It lays much of the foundation for your higher mathematics, like college algebra and calculus. And those are things that are used in engineering and in getting into medical schools or into higher professional area degrees. Some of you might be thinking, well, I'm not planning on being an engineer. I'm not planning on being a doctor. Why do I need this? Well, I truly believe that this class gives you exposure, and that's exposure to the mathematics gives you an understanding, makes you more intelligent, helps you intelligently understand what's going on in the world around you. You may not be an engineer, but you drive on the roads that engineers create, or you live or you go into the buildings that engineers design. And so I think it's good just to have an understanding of the kind of mathematics or the very basics that they use in doing that. Also, this Algebra 2 course, the 11th grade course especially, it's very critical in preparing you for the MCA and ACT. Now, your MCA is a test that you take as a junior that covers grades 9 through 11 in math. So everything you learn in 9 through 11, you have to remember because it's going to come back on your MCA. Obviously, you guys know we didn't take it this last year, and I don't know what the situation will be this spring. However, I want you to be prepared. The ACT is also given as a junior. And again, that wasn't given this past spring. I don't even know that it's up and running yet, and I don't know when it will be. I was just doing some college tours with my daughter, and they said that the ACT is not required for this year and next year for college admission. However, they still may be using it somewhat for determining scholarships. So they said if you can take it, do take that opportunity. So the math we're learning in this class is the math that you're going to need for that ACT if you end up taking it, or it's the math level that you need for moving into like a 2-year or a 4-year program, a higher education program. So super important math in geometry and algebra 2. So if you're going on to further schooling, you're going to want to work hard, do your best. Now, what should you expect here? First of all, I'm doing things a little differently than I've done in the past when I've taught these classes. I read a book this summer. I did a little Twitter book study club on flipping my class, which means that outside of class, you're going to watch videos. And then when you come to class or when you're with me virtually, you're going to do your homework and then just ask questions as you have them. So my videos are on YouTube. They're also in Schoology. And I'm new to making videos, so please give me feedback. If you watch a video and the sound quality is poor for some reason, please let me know so I can fix them. Or if you have other tips or ideas for what can make my videos better, I'd love to hear that too, but be nice. Don't be a little bit gentle. You can tell me how to fix them, but just be kind about it. Now, also, I have copied note guides. In the past, I used these note guides for my students. There's one for Algebra 2, one for Geometry. They're kind of thick, but I have them for the whole semester. And in the past, when I've given lectures, students have taken the notes. And last spring, when we were at home, they didn't have note guides. And they said that it was really hard to listen to the lectures without having the note guides. So I wanted to make sure to get those into your hands, just in case we end up distance learning. So these need to go in 3-ring binders, and you cannot lose them, and you need to fill them out. When you're watching a video, you should also always be filling out the note guide, because that's going to help me know that you watched the videos that you need to be watching. You can't learn this math by not watching the videos, okay? You gotta watch the videos. So you will need a 3-ring binder. So get that to put your note guides in. Do not lose these. They are in Schoology, but you'll have to copy out lots of pages if you lose them. So please take care of these. Also, I'd like you to have a TI X2S calculator. They're about $10 or so. You can get them at Walmart or Target. Also, Mrs. Conzenius has them in her room. She's right next to me, room 204. I think she has them. They're about $10 each. She got a bunch up ahead of time just so we'd have them available. They're great little calculators, so I would suggest getting one of those. So that's a TI X2S. So make sure you get that number. There are other ones out there that are similar, but get that one. That's the best. This class is going to be more rigorous than your math class last year at the end of the year when we did distance learning. Last year, the distance learning was new to everybody, and we knew that we couldn't give you the amount of homework that we would if we would have been in class. But here's the thing. You are in a math class this year that is a foundation for the next math class. So if we skip a bunch of stuff, you're not going to be ready for the next year in math. So I feel like to do right by you, that I need to prepare you for what's coming next, which means we need to do the work. Oops, sorry, let me just get that a text that just came in. I just need to get it off of here. Okay, so anyway, you're gonna have more homework. You're gonna have to work a little bit harder, but I'm here to help you. So if there is stuff, that said, if there's stuff going on at home and you're just overwhelmed, let me know. I wanna work with you where you're at, given your situation. So that said, Schoology, that is going to be the learning platform that I use. Let me switch here. Stop share. I'm gonna go into Schoology. If I can find it, there we go. So right here, I have my Algebra 2 opened up, but the geometry is going to look basically the same. So there is there's a landing page on the DLHS website, and I think of that more as for parents because I don't have links in it. If you click on the daily landing page, it's at the top here, the link, and open that up. That is going to have your assignments for the days and the dates, and I'll also have other important links in there for you. So you'll just click on those links as you need them. So like I said, here is the date, and then this is telling you what you're going to be doing today and what you are expected to have done before the next class, okay? Also, So there's your landing page. Check that every day. Also, there's a green box here that says attendance formative quizzes. I'm going to have you fill that out today later. Not yet, because you're not ready for it yet. And you're going to fill that out, and that will be what I'm going to be using as attendance, okay? And let me go back here. Also then, so then you're going to go to chapter 1, because that's where we're at. Go to the chapter we're in. In those folders, I have all of the worksheets. Let me open up the first one. Today, when you're in class, if you're in class, I will have those printed out typically. If you're at home, treat it just like you would a book assignment. So open it up and then just copy down the problems and do them on a separate piece of paper, or you are welcome to print them out, but you don't have to. You can do the problems on a separate sheet of paper. Now, also, I give you, besides the worksheets, I give you all of the keys for the book assignments and the worksheets. Now, here's the deal with the keys. Keys are the answers. I don't want you to just copy them. I obviously have the answers. I don't need the answers. What I need to see is I need to see your work. I need to see how you figured out the problems. So you need to show your steps. If you give me just the answers, you won't get credit, okay? You've got to show the work. Now, a good math student uses the key as they're doing their assignments. Do the problem, check the answer. If it's not right, start trying to figure out what you did wrong. And if you can't figure it out, just circle it and go to the next problem, okay? And then ask me when you see me. And then I also have the videos in here. So if you open up the videos, and actually they're in different formats. The WMVs, they probably won't play on anything you have. So go down and click on the links, the videos that are links, because those are in YouTube. So those should play for you. And lastly, I have the note guide. And like I said, the note guide, they might be from the whole chapter. You'll just have to open them up if you need them. I'm giving you all note guides when I see you, okay? If you are a distance learning student, you can stop and get a note guide, or you can print them all out too. Or you can do your writing on separate paper, but the note guides will be really nice. So I would encourage you to try to make it a trip in and get those. All right, so that is Schoology, and let me stop sharing that, and I'll go back to my other screen here. Here we go. We'll also be using some programs like Delta Math and Desmos. Desmos is an online calculator, which is fabulous. So if you don't have a calculator, go to desmos.com right here, desmos.com. It's awesome. I've sent my email address, and I emailed you with my email information and my phone number, and you can email me or text me anytime, and I'm happy to help you. If you're doing some homework at home at night, you don't get it, take a picture of it, send it to me. If I'm not super busy, I will stop and help you. I'm here to help you. I want you to be successful. I don't want you to ever worry about your math, so let me know if you have concerns. Your homework. Now, I haven't totally figured that out, but as of now, my plan is to have that handed in either by email or by text. And nothing this week is going to be turned in to me. Save it, because I'll probably collect it next week when I'm back. So do not lose this week's homework. And what I will do is, if you are texting me or emailing, I want you to put a note saying what's included. So in an email, in the little memo line, put like page 35 and worksheet 22 or whatever, something like that. Put what's in there, and then take a picture, take a good clear picture and send it to me. And I'd like you to put them together. Usually at the end of the week is when we'll do that. That's what I was doing last spring, and it worked pretty well. Make sure your names are on everything too. And also, if you ever have a homework assignment that you're sure that you did and I don't have it, just email me and we'll talk about it. Okay, we'll figure it out. So summative assessments and retake tests. So we'll have a summative assessment at the end of every chapter. I want you to do well on them. That's really important to me, because that shows me that you know the material. If you don't do well on a test, I'll probably be the first one to say, we need to retake this, okay? And in order to do a retake, a couple things. I'd like you to have it done within the first couple, or within 2 weeks. because usually by then we're getting into the next chapter, and if students don't get it done right away, it snowballs. So they need to get done before the next test, so within 2 weeks. To do a retake, what you do is you make an appointment with me, you set up a time that we go through your test, we do corrections, and then if you need some extra practice, I'll give you that, and then you can retake the test. Now, the best thing you can do is work hard ahead of the test so that you don't ever have to retake a test. I'm just going to tell you right now, you can study for math tests. A lot of students say, how do you study for a math test? Well, I learned real quickly in college that math, when I got to calculus, it wasn't as easy to me. And I had to figure out, how do I study for this? And so I did all my assignments like I was supposed to. And then the day before the test, I would go into the library and sit for probably 6 or 8 hours and redo every assignment. Now, I'm not saying you have to do that in these classes. What I would suggest, if math is hard for you at all, is I would get 2 copies of the review and do the review twice. That's very helpful for students. My tests are very much like the reviews, so if you work hard and you understand your review, you should do pretty well on the tests. So prepare so we don't have to worry about retakes. That's my best advice about retakes. All right, let's talk about a synchronous class here. So if we're doing, if we're with the learning system that we have right now, we will have synchronous classes, which means that when it's your class period, if it's a day that you're at home, you're supposed to log in. Now, a couple things about, I use Zoom, so a couple things that I want you to know. I want you to log in so that you're in when class starts. Don't start logging in when class is supposed to start, because it takes a few minutes and then you're going to come in like 5 minutes late. So be there when class begins. When you log in, 2 things: have your camera on and have your sound off. It's really hard to teach people and have meetings with people when you can't see their faces. It's so much easier when you can see their expressions and be able to tell if they're understanding and shaking their heads, things like that. I had a student the other day that logged on and didn't have their face on, and I said, okay, I need to see you. I'm just meeting you. I want to see you. And they're like, oh, my room is messy. I said, well, just move the camera up a little bit so I don't see your room. Another thing you can do is use a virtual background. So you just go to the settings in Zoom and change your virtual background. So definitely have the camera on and the sound off. And I did just hear that with Zoom, if you touch the space bar, it takes your sound, brings it back on so that you can talk quickly if you want to do that. Okay, what else? So then the other thing is, with a synchronous class, I'll have you do some activities together. During class time, remember, because you're watching the video outside, during class time, I'll be answering questions. So you can just kind of have it on. As I go over questions, I may give we maybe do a few problems together. I'm not going to expect you to be on the whole 90 minutes, so I'll tell you what my expectations are that day. I'll say, hey, this is what the plan is for today. So I need those of you who are not here to be on for this amount of time. So I'll let you know that. And if you can't be there for some reason at that time, let me know, and I will also put those recordings in Schoology. All right, so in class, so when we are in person, we have to use some other safety precautions because of COVID. So first of all, we'll make a seating chart the first day. You always need to sit in your assigned place. You can't be going to other desks, to other places, and possibly spreading any germs in case you are sick. So, and also stay in your assigned area for the most part. Minimize touching other people's things or sharing any supplies. And then at the end of the day, at the end of class, we have to clean desks. So I'll probably have spray bottles for you guys to help out with that. And so that will just be part of our expectations in class. As far as in general, whether you're in class or on Zoom or whatever, my biggest behavioral expectation is that you're treating everybody with respect, treating me with respect, treating your classmates with respect. When we're in class working, I need you to keep voices down. My class seems a little bit small, and so if everybody's just talking even at normal voice, it can get loud, and that makes it hard for some people like me to focus. So just keep your voices down and be aware of other people's needs for kind of a quieter environment for studying, and just be respectful and be kind. All right, so the big thing is, guys, communicate, communicate, communicate. Ask questions. what I have found, so many students say, oh, I don't like asking questions, but I can just tell you that in general, if I have classes where there are some students who ask a lot of questions, the whole class tends to do better on tests, because if a student has a question, more than likely a lot of other people have that same question. And so by one person being brave and asking the question, it helps a lot of people. Ask lots of questions. And I have learned that early on for learning. When I first moved to Detroit Lakes, I was going to church and reading the Bible through for the very first time. And I sat with a notebook. And every time I ran into a question, I would write it down. And then I'd go to this study group. And my pastor would say, okay, who has questions? And so everybody would ask their questions. And then when everybody got done asking their questions, he'd say, okay, Lisa, take out your list. Because I always had a list of questions, because that is how you learn. Ask questions. I want you to know mistakes are welcome in this place. If we don't move beyond what we already know and do the things that are harder that we don't understand, we never learn. Okay, we never learn more. So you're going to make mistakes because we're moving into things that you don't necessarily know. And when you get a wrong answer, you realize, oh, what I was thinking was wrong. So that's a positive, actually, because then it opens you up to figuring out the right answer. So, and then also realize that often things are the hardest to understand just before that aha moment. When you feel like I'm never going to get it, you're probably just on the edge of having it all come together. So don't give up. My goal this year is to support you as you learn from this course, and I want you to be prepared for all the math classes you have in the future. So again, I've emailed you the syllabus and my contact information. Let me know if you have issues. Even this week, I'm checking my emails and I'm here to help you, okay? So it's going to be a great year. Thanks.